Well, g'day tubes, how's she hanging? Pretty wet and mushy gushy here today. Rained all last night and up till about 11 o'clock-ish this morning. Rain. So, haven't been doing much outside. Can't really do much with this crap. But actually the river's up quite a bit higher today from the rain. As you can see, sort of rainy-ish and fairly swellied out. Kids have been playing with wood down by the river. But anyways, yeah, I don't know what we're going to be getting into today. Probably not a whole lot. Under my arm here I've got a can of Big Gap filler spray foamy in the can stuff. What my plan was kind of with that was in and around my exhausty fan there, I want to kind of fill that in, but I don't know if it's going to work very well without something there to kind of, what would you call that? Something that the stuff will not really adhere to, but adhere against, I'm thinking. This stuff's pretty good, but it's only pretty good to a certain distance, kind of sitting, whatever you call it, certain amount. Quiet! Really. Anyways, let's get the door open here and I'll show you this crap here we got. So up goes the door. I asked the guy actually just for fun when they were in putting the door in and stuff here, do you guys have like the high-speed openers? You know, like you go to the car wash, or hang on. Car wash, it's like up, down. He's like, oh yeah, we have them, they're like $3 grand. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll do with this one. He's like, well, how many times a day you're opening the door? I'm like, oh, that's the second time today, for instance, you know. I'm like, maybe 4 or 5 times a day. He's like, oh yeah, you don't need that. He's like, this one here, this door opener here is your absolute bare basic garage door opener guy from Chamberlain, I think it is. Chamberlain power drive. He's like, how long have you had that one? I'm like, since it with the door in? He's like, wow, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, there's a plastic gear in there. They'll just strip out and then they're garbage. I'm like, oh, well, that's great. So far so good. It looks like we got maybe a bit too much down pressure on the door right now because of that chain is basically pulling on the other side here. Whoops, there's a, hang on, let me turn this light off here. There. Where are we here? So this there's a gear inside that's pulling tight on this cable and stuff here, and it's actually making this go loose. So now when I hit the button, that should button. See, that tightens her up quite a bit, right? And when she comes down, it'll, it's not probably exactly adjusted correctly, although he didn't seem to care too much about adjusting it when he's here. But anyways, she's good to go. So but yeah, he's like, oh yeah, that's a pretty cheap opener there. But I'm like, oh well, it works. So he's like, yeah, if you're not using it very much, you know, if you're up and down like 40 times a day or 60 times a day, yeah, you'd want something, you know, flappier. But okay, so I'm guessing it's warm enough out here. Actually, you know what? It's like 8 degrees out here today, so I actually might not spray this thing today. Now, I had a can of, what the heck was that crap I had? It was just regular stuff, I think. And I tried spraying spraying it in there, and well, it sort of didn't kind of work too well. All kind of kept falling out and stuff. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there yet, but I might have to. I don't know. This stuff's great, but you can't spray a little bit. Oh, I'll spray a little bit tomorrow. You got to sprayer and sprayer, because once it starts to dry and cure in that straw, it's screwed. So I mean, you could probably clean that straw out. Oh, I remember what happened too with that. The stupid straw. Let me show you. The stupid straw, the way they had her packaged on here, I must have grabbed it weird, and I didn't tear off the plastic here first, and it actually broke right at the thing here. That's right, so I had to kind of like in there to get the stuff in, so that's right. So this time I will be a little more careful. So yeah, this is great stuff. It's very great stuff. I remember when this first come out, get it on your hands, probably still now. Oh yeah, it does not come off. Well, actually look, from the other day we were working on the door at the shed there, I've got crap on my hands, and they're still that, you know, won't come off until it wears off. So that's the construction glue. So this is big gap filler. Expands to fill, seals, and insulate. For gaps greater than 1 inch. Yeah, this is a lot greater than 1 inch. So you can see they're doing it in around the pipes and ducting work and stuff. So that'll work good. See, the trouble with this stuff, it'll kind of harden and start to cure itself up without air too. So you could, you know, spray a bit, okay, let that harden in the guy there for a little bit, but then inside of here where it's all mixed, it's going to start to harden in there even too, right? So it's the only downfall with this stuff is that I wish they gave you more straws, because you could, well, yeah. Ah. Oh. I think it would even harden in here because it'd be mixed coming out of here too. I was thinking you could just, you know, take a straw off, clean it out, but then I think you'd still be screwed. That's the downfall of this stuff, you know. If you don't use it all, it's no good. And pilot light, it's extremely sticky. Well, that's good because it needs something to stick to when I fire it in here. But yeah. Oh man, I couldn't imagine getting this stuff in your eye. Flush with water for 15 minutes. Oh, just the burn of it. I bet you it would just be and oh, I don't know. Skin soak soak in soapy and holy crap. Skin soak in soapy and water. Okay, am I not reading that right? It's really screwing me up. Skin soak in soap and water. Holy crap. I think I need to go back to school for a bit. I don't know what happened there. It was weird. It just didn't look right, I guess. Soak in soap and water. Soak in soap. Okay, whatever. But there's all the stuff that's in. Oh, look, there's a 57029 and stuff. But there isn't a whole lot in here, but this will probably expand to like a huge thing, you know. So we won't screw the feller on there yet, because as soon as you that, away she goes. And yeah, then you're you better get at her. So it even says here, always wear gloves and protective eyewears. So it said. So we'll just put that back on. That can go in the garbage. And what else was I going to do today? Well, not really a whole lot. You know, it's a pretty crappy day. I really wanted to get out sort of this week and start working on my stuff in the cemetery there, cleaning and stuff. But it was not meant to be, I guess, because everything's all wet and mushy again now. So we're going to maybe do some sharpening here. So you can tell these are, your chain is getting really dull. Let me just grab my little tripod feller guy here. Tripod feller guy. You can tell when things are getting really dull. Well, firstly because it's not cutting very well. If you've got to put a fairly adequate amount of pressure down to get it to cut anything, well, that's a good sign that she's not cutting. Also, another sign that she's not cutting too well, which, you know, it could still be cutting, but not cutting nicely well, is you can see in here there's no like real big chips. All it is this fine powdery dust now, right? That is from the not ripping chips out with the teeth here. It's mostly just like sanding the wood. It's not really cutting at all, so that's another big indicator that you might be due for a sharpen. And of course then with the smaller dusty stuff, it sticks to that oil stuff real good and ends up, you know, making more of a gloopy gloppier mess. So more to clean up, but I'll clean that up after. Clean this up after. Get out of there, you turd. And we will put that back on there so I don't lose it. And I know I've got new chains here for this, but I think I should be able to, yeah, see, she's going to have to get cut back a little bit. That tooth there isn't really in the greatest of health. It's going to have to get cut back to about there where the end of my finger is roughly. So, I mean, the machine will burn that off real quick here, but that's the trouble with these little chains. It'll just, pfft, gone, oh crap, no time flat, so. We'll get our sharpener out here, and that's got to mount through these holes here in the table. Could almost do with some shorter bolts maybe, but okay. And of course we need a little bit of juice. Oh, my juice prongs are bent a little bit. Nothing like a little bit of juice. And we'll just fire it on here, make sure it's good. Yeah. Handle's a little loose, but I think she's good. Okay, so there might be a little vibration on there, so I'm going to have to figure out somewhere else to mount you fellers while we're doing some sharpening here. Alright, I only got the one chain I guess to do today. Usually I've got, you know, 3 or 4 kind of lined up for doing, but I don't, so yeah. So we're gonna have to do some adjusting here first. I'm gonna turn it on just so I got some light. You know, turns the guy there too, but if you're okay, it shouldn't kill you. So. Okay, so we need to adjust our little stopper guy back to the other side here. Which is pretty much there, because this is such a small low profile chain. If you don't adjust that right, it'll actually come down and nick into your thing here, and that's really no good. Okay, so I can feel this. Such a low profile small chain too, it actually doesn't fit in the grooves of this thing too well either. I must have sharpened one of these just before, so I'm going to adjust up here now for the depth. Maybe. Trouble is, it's got a very coarse thread on it, so you don't get a lot of fine adjustment. Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to adjust this guy here for how deep it's going to cut. I don't like where that's sitting yet. too deep. Okay, I've actually got a little more room here, so I'm going to shove that over a bit. Holds it a little better. You just want to make sure you're not cutting into your actual chain part, just the tooth. And I'm going to look at it real close here, and it looks like I want to go a hair bit deeper of a cut into the tooth, like lengthwise. That's actually cutting a little bit too deep now. It's funny how it changes itself. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. For a little wee chain like this, I gotta take off an awful lot, but anyways. You might be thinking too, why don't you just do it like that? Well, you can, but you shouldn't, because it'll actually heat up the tooth and take the tempering out of the tooth, and then it'll dull up a lot faster than normal. You gotta go a little bit at a time so you don't heat it up. Oh, and it's funny because it warms it up enough that you can smell like the oil and stuff and the wood that you were cutting. It smells really good. I guess, yeah, the last one this cut was that flowering crab tree there, which is probably a fairly sweetish kind of smell when it burns, so that's why I kept the big hunk of it. So these kind of chains, they don't take too long to sharpen this one because they're not that big, but I've sharpened some, holy cow, like on my big saw or bigger, man. Take you like an hour just to sharpen one chain. Now this is by far a professional chainsaw grinder guy. Machiney thing here, but it's a TSC special, and Princess Auto I think sold these, and I don't even think it's really got a name on it. 2009 though, so when it was built, I guess. But you know, for all the stuff I do with it, works perfectly good for me. I looked actually at an Oregon one, which is like big chainsaw stuff, Oregon, you know, chains, bars, all kind of stuff, right? I wanted like $800 for it. I'm like, no. This one was like $150. I'm like, this would work fine. Does everything the other one does. Like, yeah, it's not, you know, professionally using up chains every day, so I don't really need something super awesome. Now, normally too, when you get a chain down this far, you gotta, what they call, cut back the rakers, which I'll show you, but I think I've already done it on this one. I probably did it last cut. Basically what the rakers do is help bring the chips out and stuff, and it protects the tooth a little bit and prevents it from wanting to dig in too hard and like brah your saw right down or whatever. It doesn't kill your saw. It looks like I've already done it, so that'll probably be the last sharpen for this chain anyways. Okay, believe it or not, I think we're already back to the start. Pretty much. Okay, so now what we gotta do is turn our little guy here to 30 degree on the other side. There's about there. And turn this thing right to the far side. Advance to the tooth on this side and check our cut. It's never the same for some reason, I don't know. But you gotta basically match the two up now. So this one we're gonna have to, looks like, go in a bit more. Just a hair bit more in. Okay, so now you want to what you want to do is take the two of them. So one from the one we just did, and then one of the ones a little bit further back from the other side, and you put them side by side. Oh, something's got me in the throat there, holy. And you're just basically comparing the two teeth together. Now you're doing that because if one's longer than the other, when you go to cut, it's gonna cut and go kind of away from its whatever, you know. That didn't look too bad, so we'll drive on with that. And find the one we just did. Oh well, I guess it's here somewhere. Funny though, you can, you know, get a brand new chain, use it until it dulls up, sharpen it. It never seems to cut as good as a brand new chain. I've always found that. Probably because you've taken too much of the profile away from the original cut of it, that it doesn't cut quite as nice. I mean, it doesn't cut bad, but it's not as nice. So when I did these, when I worked at the tool rental place, we had a diamond wheel on this thing. And they weren't too bad. They'd actually, I think they probably ran them a bit too long, because you'd be cutting like this and then all the stuff, there was hardly any shavings coming out, and it'd just make this huge burr out the back side of your tooth. And it was never, it wasn't right, because then you'd have to try to file that off too, you know. So you'd have this big burr out there, and you know, it's I don't know. But those those blades were like $450 a piece for the round disky wheel guy here. But they were good when they were new. If they got, you know, maybe a couple hundred sharpenings on them, then they seem to be, I don't know, they wore out or something. Somehow the diamonds got not diamondy. I don't know. So I was at the Home Depot today too, of course, and I looked at grass seed and stuff, and well, they don't seem to stock the stuff I like using out here. I use Scott's Turf Builder High Traffic grass seed. Just for that reason, for the high traffic, and it actually works really well. Comes up and looks really nice. Oh man, we're done already, I think. Comes up and looks really nice, comes up fairly quick. It's got actually a mixture in it, so it'll fire up some grass to start like a bit of cover, and then the actual high traffic grass starts like 14, 15, 20 days after, whatever, depends on the temperature and stuff. And we didn't have any, so I might have to go to TSC and pay like $4 more a bag. So, but there we go, sharpened. We are sharpened. So we'll get the let's zoom you guys out for a minute here. Whoa, what happened there? That was weird. Yeah, we're done with that, so we'll pop the cord on that. Wrap the cord back together. Take this guy off of here. One of these days too, I'm going to have to switch from my sweeper mode to my mowing mode on the tractor and stuff. I gotta take some stuff off of it. I've seen her before. It's, you know, the same thing. Some of you just haven't. So it's the oh crap, removing some plates, putting other plates on for the mower lifter guy thing. Mower lifter guy thing. What do we call that thing? Bracket stuff. Putting the lift brackets on, which is another thing. And getting the mower ready. So, okay, so we got to clean this thing out. Normally I just do it with some cold compressed air. Kind of stuff. And I'm not going to go, you know, spick and span with it. Most of her though, and then we'll do this part too. Now it's all over my counter. Oh well, what's a little bit of sawdust? And I think that's not too bad. We can roll back together. Oh, we didn't do the bar. Hold on, I gotta clean the bar. Clean the grooves out and stuff. I should wipe it down too, but I'm not gonna wipe her down. So now, crap, I can't remember which way I had that on last, but usually you flip it every time. Okay, chain. Nope. I always screw that there. Get her on the right way, so that can go back onto there. Now sometimes they used to, well, they don't anymore, but they used to make them where you could have a little hole there and you'd grease the little bearing that's in there. Well, they don't seem to do that anymore. Guess they figure the grease, oily stuff will be enough, which really it's not, but come on, you turd. Okay, just kind of hold that while we're tightening back up here. That's our chain tightener adjustment screw. Oh, now that's on the floor. Okay, that'll sort of sit there. Put our guard back on to hold things kind of together. Put the nut back on. Hopefully you can see all this. And I do apologize for sloppy camera work. Okay, so it's a little slack there yet for me, so I'll tighten her just a hair bit more till it touches. Give her some spinning, it's not too tight yet. And now if you pick up the front of the bar, you can kind of hopefully see the little more slack come there, so you just want to just bring her up till it just touches the bar. If you go any more, you're going to be making really hard on the bar, the chain, and your little drive cog that's in there. That should be good. And while we're here, oh crap, I need a little wiper guy. We'll check in our oil reservoir here. That chain is sharp. Tearing the things apart there. This hardly ever uses any oil, but It's not too bad yet. I don't think I'm gonna fill her up yet. I usually check her before I, go, but it doesn't actually use that much. And that should be good. Now you just hook her on your machine and saw away. I even cleared some crap off the bench this morning. I even found my little scabbard guy thingy for it. There you go. That's alright. I knew it was around somewhere, but I couldn't remember exactly where I put it, so. Very good. We are sharpened and cleaned and ready to go again. Alright, well I figured maybe we try doing a little test cutting in the trailer here, try to keep the mess all, from, all over the place. I could take her outside, but I gotta move all this stuff out, so I'm just gonna do a couple of cuts. I wanted to kind of save this maybe for burning it or whatever, I don't know. This is pretty gnarly down in here, so I don't know if we'll save that or not, but I think we should be okay. I just cut through the bottom, I think, because it's gonna wanna, if you cut the top, it's gonna wanna cave in on itself and then pinch your bar, so you got to come up from underneath because it's being supported here and then up on the corner of the trailer. So let's see if we can get the saw going here first. A little bit too much cutting for that little guy, but I've done bigger with it. It's not a chainsaw, this guy. It's actually just like a, for this kind of small stuff, right? Like, and that's about it. Not really for cutting whole entire logs. So, interestingly enough, I think it was this cut. I went through and I seen a spark come out, so there might have been some kind of metal stuff or something in there somewhere. I seen already it's not cutting chips out, right? It's all sawdusty like that again, so that's not too good. So I don't know, maybe screw that chain again, but anyways, it it was cutting some big chips here, like there's some there, right? They're more chippier, but it also sort of depends on the wood too. But I don't know, we might have hit something in that tree that might have been, a nail or or what have you in there, but that's okay. That chain was on our last legs anyways there. So there we go, a little bit more manageable now. Now I can close our gate again finally. That's another job I got to finish off, is this tailgate. But I needed one other thing. I've got my spring and that port here. Spring, and then that little clevisy thingy guy hooks on the tractor. That's just a garage door spring. That, and I've got, I know the cable. I just seen it this morning. Did I or didn't I? Yeah, I did. I'm sure I did. Light. Somewhere here, well, there's what I'm going to use for the pulley system. So that'll get mounted on the tractor, on the trailer, and then it'll go down. Well, let's see here. I got a couple of different ones here. I wasn't too sure which one I wanted to use, but somewhere here I've got cable. I knew I had it. Cable. Okay, so what's going to happen here is, like my big trailer. I should actually be doing this today, but I'm almost out of time now. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen? How did I do my other one now? I'm gonna have to see if I can peek over there and see. Yeah, that's right. There was I got to weld a bar onto here. The cable gets hooked onto the bar, then it goes up into. Let me think now. How's that one? Yeah, it just hangs like this. Okay, so the cable comes off the bar through there. Probably gonna need something along here. Now, how did I do the? Yeah, the front one. Then it goes through a thing that's mounted here and then up to the spring in the tractor. Basically, when you pull on it, pulls on the cable, pulls onto this bar, which will open your gate lat. You know, dump your thing, put it down, and the weight of the bars, when you pull on your cable again, it pulls the thing up and then it resets it onto this bar. Now, I'm not super crazy on how I've got that yet, although it did work when I did try it. So I don't know, I might revamp it or I might not revamp it, I don't know. But that's a project we got to do yet for the dump on this. But I don't use this one near as much yet as I do my big one when I'm doing my graves, right? So each grave I'm digging that trailer full with about 4 or 5 trailer loads of dirt. So I'm not using it nearly as much, so that's why I haven't probably finished it yet. You know, the only thing I'm really using this for is when I'm planting my cornerstones that I haven't actually got a set in yet this year, and I'll put them all in there and then, you know, do the cornerstones. And I got all these squares of dirt after I put the stones in at the corners of the graves back there, and I just dump this out and away she goes. So now the guys had to use it when I was away. They broke the hinge back here where it mounts on a little bar that goes across. It actually tore it right out. I think you guys might remember that fix. So they were using this one when I was away, and they're like, well, what do you want us to do? I'm like, well, you got your gator there. Well, yeah, that's going to take forever. I'm like, well, that or my little trailers there, the one I built, it should work. But it probably holds just as much as the gator does, this thing. Maybe a little more if you heaped it up real good, and it will dump it that heaped up too. It's awesome. So, but yeah, they ended up just using this. So felt kind of bad for them, but they must have cut it a little tight there. Uh-oh. Yeah, when they were probably backing in beside, I bet. That looks like a tire rub mark. But anyways, that's a while back. I'm not too concerned about that. But I guess she wants to work good because I heard no more complaining other than it took forever. But, you know, it's still better than doing it with a wheelbarrow. That would have really sucked. But, of course, you know, when I'm away, stuff breaks and, you know, happens. And yeah, that kind of sucked for them. But that's all we can do. So, here, I'm locked in. So, I guess that's probably mostly going to be about it for today. Geez, there's nothing else happening here really, so pretty quiet day, I guess you'd say, which is, it's all right. Nice to have the odd quiet day too, but you know, I kind of feel like I need to be out working on stuff, but I can't because everything's all like gooey and mushy and crappy and stuff, so I can't really, you know, be out doing topsoil and stuff. This just be a mud pit right now too. Oh my god, that's gonna take another 4 or 5 good warm sunny days to melt or dry all that out again. I think it's all melted though from when we chopped her open there the other day. But yeah, it's just, you know, I gotta, I guess, get some grass seed too. Maybe I'll run out to like TSC or something this afternoon and see if I can get some grass seed and the starter stuff. I'm gonna need some more of that. Yeah, why don't we do that? We could go out for a little tour and take a tour around. Maybe grab a shopping cart out there and go grab some high traffic. They should have it by now, I'm pretty sure. Well, we won't know until we go and have a look. So let's maybe head her out to TSC. So while we're rocking up here, I went to, whatchamacallem, computer guys, pardon me, in town here. Just over, actually not too far from here. And I was talking to them about a new system. Because, yeah, mine's still pretty good. But it seems like it's kind of getting, I don't know how you explain it. It's getting kind of lagged back or something. Not slow, it's just like, you know, basically it was awesome when I got it. Now everything needs more horsepower and it's not going to be able to put up much more horsepower, you know, so kind of thing. So we went and looked at that, and he gave me a price. So yeah, expensive. But they're building me a computer, so I won't tell you specs or anything right yet. Stupid radio. But I guess he must have thought I wasn't quite serious about, you know, getting something built. The guy over there, I can't remember his name now. But anyways, he's kind of looking at me like odd, you know. He's like, why would you want like that? I'm like, well, I want something that's gonna be awesome and run awesome for a long time. You know, I can edit videos on it. You know, rendering videos, editing videos, recording farm sim stuff videos. You know, all the stuff I do that playing the game and recording a game requires a lot of horsepower. And hard drive space, man, what is in my throat that's making me all hacky? It requires a lot of hard drive space too, so I'm like, yeah, I need her like super awesome. So he's like, whoa, really? I'm like, holy cow. I said to him, the one thing though, I want a 4 gigabyte video card in it. I don't really care what kind. I've always had the Radeon stuff, ATI, AMD stuff. He's like, oh, NVIDIA, you gotta go NVIDIA. I'm like, okay. Never had an NVIDIA, so can't compare, so. But I think I'm gonna go the quieter way to TSE. This is just, highway way sucks. So, I said to him, yeah, I need her, you know, super awesome. So, other than that, I don't know, it's a pretty good system by the sounds of things. So, they are, I guess, in processes of ordering parts and putting it together. Now, it sort of sounded like they get someone else where it comes from to put it together, and they just load the software on it here. So, I don't really know. But it's going to have monster hard drives. Going to have pretty sweet, awesome processor in it. It's going to have major amounts of RAM, like mega major amounts of RAM in it. Pretty sweet video card, as of what I don't really know yet. But he looked up one there, and he's like, oh wow, you think you need a 4 gig card? I'm like, yeah. He looks one up on his computer there. This is when I'm, you know, kind of ordering stuff for it, right? He looks it up. He's like, wow, these are like $1,500. I'm like, no, dude, not that one. Holy crap. I don't need something that good, but decent, I said to him, you know. So he got looking around. Okay, well, looks like we can do this one for shy of 400s. I'm like, okay. So once again, I don't really know exactly yet what it was, but it's NVIDIA something. Oh man, what is going on in my throat? So that case wise, he showed me a picture of it. It didn't really look that spectacular to me, unless the picture was just a crappy old picture or something, but it's supposed to be pretty good. Optical drive, I didn't even really pay attention to that because I hardly ever use a CD drive, CD burner, DVD burner guy anyways. You know, I just mostly, I got like an external one if I need those plug in to the USB, and away she goes. Now my voice sounds different because I've hacked something into it. Anyways, and he asked me what Windows or what OS do you want on it. I'm like, well, I don't think I want Windows 8 on it. I know Windows 10's not out yet, and I've got Windows 7 Professional on the one I'm using now, and that seems to work pretty good. So he's like, oh, we can put that on there for you, and it'll be a free Windows 10 upgrade whenever it comes out. I'm like, okay, that's good. Hopefully it's not crap, but can't remember really much else about it, but whenever it comes, I'll of course show you, and you know, give her a test fire and, you know, stuff like that. It should be pretty good. So I did want a, now let me think, I can't remember the size. I think it's a 256 gigabyte solid state drive for, I told him to put the OS operating system Windows on that drive, and you know, whatever else needs to be there for booting and crap, all that lovely crap. And then it's got a 2 terabyte SATA SATA drive on it too, SATA 3 drive. So I need that for, of course, the recording files, because like honestly, like a Farm Sim Saturday that's, we'll say, is 3 hours long is probably getting close to 600 gigabyte of files there. So there's a lot of huge files. You need a huge area for recording stuff. Oh, I see a deer back there in the field. Hang on, let's see if we can pull over here and I'll see if we can see him. Oh crap, I've lost him already. Okay, let's see here. I'll put this window down. Now, this is going to be tricky. There he is. No. Oh, I can't whistle that well. There he is. Deer. Oh crap. Hang on a sec. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, I didn't even bother. Oh, now he's heard it. See how long that took to get over there? Now he's looking. Deer, oh dear, look how far away he is. Wow. Anyways, I don't know how I spied him there. I think I caught him, I think I caught him against the green tree that was over there. Spied him, I knew what it was, the height he is and stuff. And yep, that verified him. That was cool though, how long it took that sound for me to whoop, over to him. Oh man, but anyways, we're gonna head her to the old TSC here. It's still gloomy, crappy looking out here. Holy jumping. And I'm trying to think now how many of these graves I've got to tow. Holy cow, there's a freaking fire going on up here somewhere. Oh, they just got a pile of wood crap burning. Okay, whew. Thought, you know, nice dry field. That's probably not too good burning this stuff next to the dry grassy kind of stuff. It's a fairly burning-ish decent fire too. Wow, I don't know, I wouldn't be doing that this time of year, but I guess after the rain it's maybe not so bad. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna think of how many graves I got here, how much roughly seed I use, how much I'm gonna have to get. Kilogram of this stuff. Kilogram. I think it's like maybe it's like a 1.2 kilogram bag. It's like $22. But it's really good stuff, and I've tried other brands, even the Scott stuff, other brands, and this high traffic stuff is got to be about the best I've tried. It works really, really well. I even tried like a different brand and it was just crap. The stuff, you know, it come out decent-ish and then just kind of burnt off, dried off, and it was back to dirt again. I'm like, really? So, but I always put it on grass seed and then put on the grass seed and then sprinkle on some of the starter fertilizer. It seems to make a pretty huge difference for nice thick lushy grass growing up when it's growing up. So, but anyways, we'll go TSC, see what we can get for seed, and we'll head her home. That's about all we got going on today. It's pretty quiet. Tomorrow, I don't know, it's probably going to be pretty darn near exactly the same. I know I've got a couple of funeral burial-y things coming up from winter stuff, but it won't be for a little bit. But anyways, here we go, TSC. I forgot to mention, I've been driving past the place where I bought this truck from and our car from. And I don't know what's going on, but they don't seem to have like any trucks, you know, in that lineup we were looking at there. There's no trucks there at all. That whole thing was like empty. And they used to have cars all around the front and stuff. There's like one row of cars left and that's it. So I don't know if they've just all of a sudden sold a whole whack of stuff and just haven't kind of filled stuff back up, but it's been sitting like that for like maybe 3 weeks now-ish, something like that. So I don't know what's going on there, if they're just trying to get rid of the stuff and then closing up or what, but I'm maybe kind of glad I got my stuff when I did. You know, because there's really nowhere else around that sells newer-ish cars like that, but not like brand new, like at the dealership brand new. So yeah, I haven't actually been in to see what's going on, but it's not too good. I'm kind of glad I got my stuff anyways. And yeah, but anyways, just thought I'd let you know. It doesn't look good there. I don't know what's going on, but maybe they're moving. I don't know. It seems like a fairly decent spot where they were set up there, because you know they got the dealership, they got the cleaner guy in the middle that cleans all the stuff after you buy something, and at the very end is like their I think it's a two-bay, two-lift garage back there too, where they fix all the stuff that needs, you know, repaired, tires, brakes, whatever, right? So I don't know what's going on. That's kind of sucky, but because it's, you know, fairly decent to deal with and stuff, and seemed to go all pretty smooth. So yeah, I don't know. I'm like, ooh, wow, that's not good. To see it kind of empty kind of means kind of like they're maybe not in too much more business. So I don't know. Anyways, we're almost to TSE. We'll grab some seed, hopefully, if they got it. Well, we got some seed and 2 bags of fertilizer, a couple of filters for my vacuum, but seed and fertilizer is probably about $200 worth of seed and fertilizer there. Yay. It's good stuff. I must say, it is good stuff. I like using it. It's really nice. And you might as well do it right the first time, right? Like you could get like the huge, like 25 kilogram bag of seed, and then you're gonna have to do it halfway through summer again, where this is done. You know, in each one of those bags I'll probably get 4 graves out of, maybe. Depends how thick I put her on. I like to put her on fairly decently thickish, so you don't get little patches that don't come up, you know. Rake her smooth, spread her down with some seed, then take your rake and tamp that all in. Leaves neat little like groovy looking things too. And sprinkle your seed on top. She'll grow a pretty good lawn, you know. Pretty good bunch of grass there. So, but I wanted to hopefully get at that this week, as I was saying, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I guess we'll just head her home, and it's starting to rain again now. Holy crap. One of them days. See, it would have been nice if, you know, it had dried up a little bit. I could have got it done and then it would have rained on it. It would have been even better, but it's not going to happen. But anyways, hardly see the old water tower up there. She's so foggy. Crappy rain. But anyways, we will continue on home. And like I say, I don't think there's gonna be much happening. Oh yeah, and that little green trailer too. We got to make our leaf catching. Holy cow! Their thing blew over there. Whoa, that thing's supposed to hold a car. our leaf catching box. We got to make that 4 at 2. I don't exactly have it set in my head how I'm gonna do that yet, but we'll figure something out, I'm sure. I don't know if I want to just build it all out of wood or, you know, 2x2s, or it's got to be fairly strongish, so I actually wouldn't mind some kind of like steely kind of skeleton guy, you know, and then the plywood or whatever I'm going to use could hang off of that. I'm not really too sure how I want to do yet. I don't really want to make it too heavy, although that could probably take a fair bit of weight, that trailer. Now you also got to mind that's going to have to hold probably, the leaves are wettish, 1,000 pounds of leaves maybe. I don't know how much it's going to weigh, but it's not going to be super light. But we'll figure that out, I guess, once we get to her. I was thinking of making like a little skeleton of, you know, maybe some 3/4 inch square tubing or 1/2 inch square tubing. I think it goes that small. I'm pretty sure it does. Just like a little skeleton thing that, you know, I could attach to the trailer part when I'm wanting to collect leaves, and then just be able to, I don't know, forklift or something to yank it off when I just want to use it as a trailer. I want it somewhat easy to get off, so I think probably, I don't know, I was thinking of just like C-clamps, you know, on the outside, clamp them down, but all the moving, jumping and bouncing and stuff, I don't know if that's maybe not going to be quite secure enough for holding the top box part onto the trailer part. Don't really want to drill and bolt it, but that might be the only option. 1/2 inch square tubing doesn't give you much to drill through, so it might have to be a little bigger on the bottom, and then the rest of it can be probably small stuff just to kind of hold the plywood or whatever I'm going to use for the sides of and the top of this thing. But that project's a little far off yet. I want to maybe do it sort of midsummer, you know, when the leaves are starting to get like they're, you know, starting to get ready to go. Not maybe on the ground, but, you know, I want to have it ready for when they're down again. So, oh man, but the way I'm going to probably make this thing is I want it to kind of hold as much as it possibly can. Height-wise, meaning we're going to have to go up pretty high with it, so it's probably not going to fit in my garage where it's sitting there now, so unless you take the top thing off and have to leave that outside, which you could. But I was thinking just wood, but I'm like, I think I'd rather have her welded together, you know, and it'd be a lot better to pick her up and take her off. It'd be a lot more structurally strong, I think. But anyways, I'll keep sort of brainstorming on that little project, and then we'll have to get some steel of some sort. That's a 2-inch, I think I built the trailer with. I think if I maybe did a, honestly, it probably should be a 2-inch for the base where it's going to bolt to the trailer. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. Actually, the best thing would probably be to have bolts welded to the trailer, and you could just lower it down on the bolts and then tighten the nuts down, and away you go. But then if you're just running in trailer mode, you got all these stupid things sticking up. You might be nailing yourself on them or bending them or something, or probably better just to bolt right through, and then right through the top piece, and then just, you know, nut and bolt her, drive on. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. See what I can get from materials as well, and all that lovely stuff. And as in plywood, I think I'm going to get what I got for a shed door for the inside, that 3/8 inch plywood. It's not wicked super strong, but it's strong enough it should hold together, and you know, when you're dumping it and stuff, and kind of should, oh crap, you know what, I'm not going to be able to bolt this thing down when I'm thinking of it. Okay, I'm going to have to think about it some more, because I want it to be able to, when it's dumping, to clamshell itself open so that the pile of stuff just kind of out the back, and I just drive ahead and it all pours out. So I can't really bolt it down. Although, depending on how it sits, it might need something. I don't know. Maybe even just a couple of clamps. We'll have to try different multiple things and stuff, but as of for right now, I'm sort of up in the air about it all, so I don't really know yet how I wanted to do it. But I basically want it to, you know, trailer, and then when I dump it, it kind of splits like this, and then all dumps out. You know, I don't want to blow it all into my trailer and have to rake it all out again. That's just kind of silly blowing it into the trailer. I might as well just mulch it. So, but anyways, looks like we're home. And I guess we'll head her in, kill off some more of the day, because I can't really do much out here yet, although it is starting to green up. Surprisingly, it's starting to green up a bit. And I got a tea inside, I haven't even had to get it. Not awful. So anyways, we'll set her inside. I don't know, maybe we'll find something else to do. I don't know. It's one of them days where you can't really do anything outside. But let's head her in anyways. Oh, there's 10 bags of seed. This is the stuff. High traffic. Good stuff. Doesn't really tell you what's in there, but it's good stuff. And 2 bags of starter stuff. 24-25-4 mixture. Works really good. It's not really so good for in our lawn that's already established, but it's good for the starter stuff. So if you're wondering what these numbers mean, they do mean some things here. I'm going to read a little thing that I found. I kind of know, but I'll read the official thing to you, sure. Okay, so the first number is nitrogen, I think they say here. Hang on a sec. Common way of describing the purpose behind each chemical is to think up and down all around. Applying this simple phrase will help you remember that nitrogen is the first chemical listed. So the 24 on there is nitrogen. First chemical listed. It helps with plant growth above ground. Nitrogen does a great job in promoting green leafy growth of foliage and provides the necessary ingredients to produce lush green lawns. That's what everybody's after, right? Lush green lawns. Lawn fertilizers will frequently have high first number for this purpose. Phosphorus, the middle number, is very effective in establishing growth, which is good for new lawns, below ground, so root systems, in the form of healthy root systems. Well, look at that, I just said that. And there we go. It's also a component most reliable for flower blossoms. So that's what I was having trouble with my pumpkins. I think the first year I had lots of green but no real flowery stuff. Wasn't enough phosphorus. Flower blossom and fruit production. You'll notice the fertilizers designed for flower production or starter type fertilizers for your lawn have a higher middle number, which this is a 25. Look at that. The last number, potassium, is the last number listed is considered important for overall plant health. This is probably for diseases and stuff. This is primarily due to the ability to help build strong cells within the plant tissue, and in turn, the plants withstand various stresses such as heat, cold, pests, and diseases. So that's good. That's a good thing. For example, winterizing fertilizers have a high component of potassium. Well, this one's only got 4, so they're not too concerned about, you know, they just want a good, strong, healthy plant, but don't really care about the, you know, the wintering over and stuff. But anyways, I never had a problem. Did I read all that now? With various stresses such as heat, cold, pests, and diseases, for example, winter fertilizer as well. Okay. And it just tells you when shopping for. So yeah, those are the 3 numbers. So I know the if you put a lot of nitrogen on something, it'll like just totally take right off, you know. But it might look good for a while, and then all of a sudden, boom, it'll just die off because it doesn't have the bottom root system, which is the 2nd number. So yeah, but that's what I use anyways for actually it does tell you a breakdown here on this thing here. Total nitrogen 24%, available phosphate 25%, soluble potash, which is the last number, 4%. So 24, 25, 4 is the percentages. Phosphate, just the same thing again. That's about all it really tells you. What it is though, I don't really know. I don't know what it actually is. So, but I have no idea. It's just fertilizer. That's all I know. Makes your grass go good. That's all I know. Sprinkle it on, away she goes. She's this stuff's a bit different too. Like fertilizer for years and years and years used to be just like oh, I don't even have any here. It's like pellets. But there was, this one was this pellet, and okay, over here was this pellet. So what would happen is you wouldn't get a nice even of this stuff, and you'd have a good green spot here, but then kind of crappy looking and crappy over here, right? So it didn't spread it out too well enough. Where this stuff is all those things all into one pellet, and it basically looks like kitty litter. Don't have one of these open to show you, but, and I don't think, well, I got one of these here from last year still. I don't think I opened anything either. Let's just pop one of these open here. Oh, actually you can see it, it's sort of pouring out here. Okay, so let's just dump a little bit out here. Okay, I'll use those ones up first, but this stuff here you can see it's kind of, there is some other fillers and stuff in it too, but it's pretty much all like kitty litter, right? And it's kind of all mushed into one, so it actually works pretty good. And this stuff had something else in it too. It was like this blue pellet of something. Water Smart Eco helps lawn make moist. I don't know if this stuff here has it in it, but it had a bit of blue, like a, you know, I can see one here. There's like one blue pellet there. I'm not too sure what that one is, but something to do with that. But and this stuff, apply and play. You can put it on and go lick your grass if you want. So, but yep. So there's our grass seed ready to go. Just waiting on the lawn and stuff to dry up so I can actually get out and do it. So, but yeah, for what are these? 1.4 kilogram. Okay. Seeds up to 209 square meters, which, yeah, 3 pounds of grass seed in one of those, like $21 or something like that. So they add up quick, but I'll get through these pretty darn quick here. Won't take long. I wish they'd bring that out in a bag like this size. You know, that's twice the size. 400 to 209. No, it's fertilizer too. 13-pound bag though. That'd be better than this 3-pound bag. It's 10 pounds more in this bag. That'd be awesome. Then I'd only have to get maybe 3 of those bags and not like 10 of these stupid little ones. But never seen her any bigger. I've seen it's not the high traffic. It's the sun shade mix in a bag like that. But I didn't like it as much. It wasn't as nice. So, but anyways, this stuff's coated too with some absorbent coating stuff, so when it gets wet, I guess it holds it in there and helps germinate the seed a little better. I don't know, it's more of a mix and mess than anything, I think, because you get to the end of the bag, is all this white powder. It's like, okay, what is this stuff? They don't tell you. Is it like, you know, like lime or something, or what is it? I don't know. I don't know why they don't put the starter stuff on the seeds. That would make sense, but then they couldn't sell 2 products. They'd have to only sell 1 product. But this product here, you know, $22 for this would probably have to be about $35 for this bag then, right? For, you know, putting this stuff onto that stuff. So, I don't know. But it works good. I've always had good luck with it. Like I say, I've tried so many other ones that are just freaking crap. And whenever you're buying grass seed, if you got to do a big area, spend the money and do it like that, because it's way better seed. If, like, out there they had stacks and stacks and stacks of this stuff called tough turf, I think it is. Comes up like straw. First of all, it's garbage. And then the next year, absolutely nothing. You're burnt right down to the dirt again. So through winter, it just dies right off, and there's nothing comes back. It's like, well, that's kind of useless. You know, you have to do it every year now. Like, so, you know, and it was like $80 for like a huge 25-kilogram bag of this stuff, but it's just absolute just garbage stuff. So get the better stuff, and like they show you on here, nice lawn. Well, that's what you're gonna get, you know, versus, you know, basically on their bag here you'll get crap like that, right? Without the fertilizer-y stuff, or, you know, lush stuff, you know. So, but the thing is too, with using this, you have to push the weeds out. You know, weeds will always start, no matter what conditions. They'll always start and take over and push your grass out if you don't put enough seeds in. Your weeds will start up, shade out your area and kill all the grasses underneath it because there's no light. And your weed will establish and take over, and it looks like a weedy lawn, right? So I usually put a fair bit of this stuff in, and then fair whack of that stuff too, and then it just takes right off. Like I say, it'll start the first whatever seeds in there, like the bluegrass one or whatever it is. It doesn't actually tell you, I don't think. Contains, there we go, actually it does. Contains 50% WW seed, whatever that is. 70% Kentucky bluegrass, 30% turf type perennial ryegrass, which is I think the one, it's either that one or this one that comes first. I can't remember. Oh, there it is. It is limestone powder. 48% WW limestone powder and 2% Zeba grass seed coating material. Whatever. Oh, maybe it isn't. I don't know. Limestone powder. Interesting. Potassium salt. Maximum moisture. I don't know what the 50% WW is here. I don't know. But it works good. Kentucky bluegrass and perennial turf type perennial ryegrass. I think it's the bluegrass that comes first. And then after it's kind of established to about like this, in maybe a week and a bit, you'll see like these little wee spike guys coming up, and I think it's that perennial ryegrass that's coming up after. So, but yeah, it works good. It's too bad it's so darn expensive and I can't get it in a bigger thing. So, but anyways, there we go, ready to rock. Holy man, I shouldn't have said something about it being quiet here today because I've been on the phone ever since. Oh, it's springtime, right? So people are, you know, wanting to do their stuff. You know, people die through the winter or something, cremated. They want to do their burials, which I can, you know, do any time now. But they also seem to want to wait until it's really nice out, right? And you know, springy, nice, and you know, nice weather and birds chirping and stuff like that, right? So it's kind of funny how that works, but they want to get her done, but they don't want to get her done until it's nice out. So not a whole lot you can really do except say, well, another couple of weeks it should be good. You know, it's kind of crappy in here now because no, none of the trees are really out yet, and it's just not nice. So, but anyways, holy cow, there's one guy out there fishing. How did he get through the, I guess he just sailed underneath. Out there fishing. Fishing. They didn't make that bridge too tall there, so there's going to be a lot of people pretty ticked off with, you know, hardly get into this bay here. Plus the water level goes down maybe a bit, but till then, I don't know. So yeah, I'm just out here looking at stuff from one of the phone calls. They want plots near a plot. Those really drive me nuts because, you know, if I sell a plot, say today, I'm selling like the newest kind of area, right? So it's like people, you know, will want, you know, this guy, well, I didn't sell this plot, but I buried this lady here. And I think it's now her son that's passing away. He's not dead yet, but he's going. And now, of course, they want plots that are near there. Well, there isn't really much near there now. That's the trouble, you know. Like, if you want, my advice is to you, if you're burying somebody that you love, your loved ones, buy plots for yourself right then. It's the best thing to do, because, you know, people will wait, oh, hum and ha, and this guy, you know, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come buy plots here by my, I think it was his mom or something, and he never did. Now he's dying. Now there's nothing near him because, you know, I can't save them. I've got to use them. So I mean, I can't save 100 plots for people, you know. So, but anyways, I'm gonna see what I can do for finding something near them and near them, and that's about the best we can do. So. Anyways, that's probably going to be about it for today. I'm going to head her home after this. I think she's just about time. I was going to work on the door today, but it's starting to rain and be crappy again. It's really damp out. I just want to kind of go home and hide. So, yeah, one of them things, you know. But anyways, I'll go find these plots, and we'll go from there. So anyways, tomorrow, I don't really know what's going to be going on. I didn't really have anything planned today either, but we did some stuff, so we'll see. Maybe nothing. I don't know. But anyways, have a good night. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you, I don't know, someday this week. I don't know. We're not going to throw up too many videos this week because there's really not a whole lot going on. I do want to change my sweeper to mower mode, so maybe we'll do that video and then flop the tires over to get the heavy ones off, put the little guys on, the lighter guys on, and get it ready for mowing because it is starting to green up out through here, so which is good. Green grass is good. And yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything super majorly planned for stuff. I've got burials coming up too, and the next kind of little while they're going to really start piling up. Like I already got one for Saturday and it's this Saturday coming, and then after that we're getting into all the spring stuff. So the videos might be kind of sparse for a little while between you know, until I get all them caught up and stuff from the winter. So basically I've got 3, I think, for me here that I didn't do while we were shut down a little bit in February there. I got those to do, and then some cremations are starting to come in now too. So it's going to be pretty busy, and it's not going to be very much video stuff probably coming up for when I'm getting super busy, swamped like that. And then we'll be getting into the mowing, and that'll take right over, and that'll be super major busy. But I'm sure we'll get something here and there between there now, you know, and everything. But it might be just little iPhone videos, you know, while I'm doing something, and that's probably going to have to be what it is, because I'll be pretty swamped. So. But anyways, have a good day. Thanks for watching today, and we'll catch you maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe next month. I don't know. We'll see. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.